celebrate and have fun. No time to wait. Open up your mind with markers, pencils, or paints. Hear what they have made. Savannah, Russell, and Jane with a podcast just for you. It's time for FanBrush. Artists with a lot to say. It's FanBrush. Listen, it'll make your day.
So how's y'all's weekend?
It's good. I'm glad that yesterday is over.
It's been good. I'm tired.
Yeah.
But basically all I've been doing all weekend is Halloween shopping, and decorating, so I'm happy.
Sounds like fun.
It has been fun, but also tiring. Because nobody has their Halloween stuff out yet, so I had to go to like 10 different stores to find like enough stuff to decorate my house with, because Halloween is canceled this year, but not for me, I guess.
Halloween
Right.
isn't canceled. Like,
Everybody's acting like it is. I don't know. Me and Bryce were talking about it, and we were like, maybe it's just because school's starting so late, so they're having to keep all the school stuff out later, and that's why. But I'm just like, just set up a tent or something like you do for Christmas. Like, what the heck?
yeah. We're probably going to watch kid-friendly spooky movies and stay in or something, probably still dress up. I don't know what Wimberly's going to do. So, yeah.
Well, I'm an adult and I can buy my own candy, so that's not even an issue for me.
Yeah. Buy all the candy you want instead of shifting through a pillowcase full of candy and half of it's just like,
Yeah,
stuff
right?
tastes like chalk.
Although I accidentally...
Speaking of chalk, welcome to the FanBrush podcast.
Hi, I'm Russell. I like art.
My name is Jade and I like art.
my name is Savannah. I also like art.
Did you forget your name there for a second?
I'm tired.
Savannah's having an existential crisis in the middle of a podcast. Who am
Why am I so tired?
I? You're in your 30s, that's why.
Oh, yeah.
And you're a millennial in your 30s. Hooray.
Yeah. And 2020. I'm just tired.
Studios. What?
Nothing.
Starting to sweat. And like, I've got that David's ring light on me, and I'm just like, man, I'm so hot.
Conceited.
The other day at work, I had my clack fan, and I busted it out and started fanning myself because we were doing work. And I looked at Sienna, my boss, and I was like, Sienna, am I a fancy lady? And I started fanning myself, and she's like, if you want to be, sure. It's like, thanks for that answer, man.
So what are we talking about today? I forgot.
So today we're going to be talking about, what?
It's like, what are we talking about? And everybody's just,
I actually know.
Somebody's put together here.
Thank God.
Kind of.
It's not
no.
me.
Spoiler alert, it's not me. No, I thought it'd be cool to talk about, like, what we do to, like, get ourselves into the creative mood, especially, like, when you're not feeling creative, especially, like, right now with everybody working from home and stuff. For me, my creative space that I spent, like, 2 months setting up to be creative is suddenly my home office. And so, like, what do you do to get yourself in the creative mood or create your creative space where you can, like, be creative?
Awesome. This is going to be a good topic.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one. Who wants to go first?
Russell goes first.
Russell goes first.
It's tradition now.
It is tradition now. Yep, Russell goes first. That's how it would be in battle as well.
I just have this mental image of us being like in a fantasy RPG kind of situation, and Jay just kind of standing back, dressed as like the tank, armored tank, just sitting there with a big battle axe. Okay, Russell, go. Just pat on the back, and there's a horde of goblins in front of me. Go for it. Have fun.
Oh no, it wouldn't be a pat on the back. It'd be a pat on the butt, and then I would just kind of scoot you forward a little bit.
Good game.
Good game. Okay, so how do you get creative when you're not feeling creative, and what's your creative space like?
Sorry, I had nose hair. That was being difficult.
We're leaving that in.
Well, I'm really, it's a lot better now that I've shaved my face, because whenever the mustache grows in, the nose hairs and the mustache hairs like to hold hands and go on dates. And I always have to break up that relationship and be like, no, no, leave room for Jesus, please. It was really bad whenever I was waiting tables because I'd stand there and be at a table and like, hi, my name's Russell. Welcome to wherever the hell I'm working. What can I get? And then they'd start like touching, and I'd just be like, don't touch your face. Don't touch your face. Don't pick your nose in front of a table. Creative space. That's right. On topic. It's a little bit more difficult for me to have my own creative space because I am living with my brother and space is really tight in our living situation right now. So I always have to keep my stuff neat and orderly and stacked up. Right now, there's not as much room as I would like to have to create stuff. Like having my paints and my canvases out is something that I used to do whenever I had my old apartment and I lived by myself. Like my entire living room was my studio, which was great. And I loved that. But now whenever I'm getting ready to just start drawing or writing or whatever, I usually go for a walk first, just kind of clear the air. If I haven't journaled, I'll journal about a page, just try to get some mental trash out. As for music, it depends on what I'm working. If I'm drawing, it can be a variety of music. Right now, I'm on a Norah Jones kick. And getting back into Norah Jones and just throwing her on the speakers and drawing to that music. If I'm writing, I need something that does not have lyrics. So it can range from, final boss fight music to piano and accordion stuff, or I usually tend towards like violin techno, whatever that's called. I think or epic score. Maybe
like agrotech.
Agrotech.
You've never heard of agrotech?
No, what is that?
Okay, so it's kind of like God, what's the word I'm looking for? Not speed techno, but like I don't know. It's like really hard, fast, aggressive like techno music. It's almost like the metal of techno music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because I've started getting into synth metal, where it's like that 80s vibe mixed with metal. And there's a few out there that make instrumental versions. And I'm like, yes, this is great. I love this. And it's good music to work to, too. If we've got a deadline and Sheldon or Sienna are like, all right, cool, we've got to bust this out. It's shipping out tomorrow. And like, put on my hardcore music. Go. There's more there. Like, what else? I don't know. My brain's kind of fuzzy. Does anybody else want to talk at the moment? We could come back.
I'll go ahead and go. So I also don't really have like a designated room or anything like that, strictly for creating. That's like once I have a house, kind of like a dream scenario whenever I finally get a house. But yeah, so my creative space right now is basically I have me and my roommate. We're both, she's really creative too, but she paints and she does arts and crafts and stuff like that. So we've got shelves. She's got a shelf and I've got a shelf. And on my shelf is all of my stuff and it's all organized. Like I've got my watercolors and then I've got my acrylic paint and then I've got, my gel pens and all my pencil, and then I've got like my main, because all artists have that like main pencil bag that has all of your main, like your favorite pencils, your favorite pieces of charcoal, your favorite white pen that you use to add highlights, like that kind of stuff. And then, but yeah, so when I'm not feeling very creative, but I want to create something, I'll just turn the light on and I'll just stare at like my shelf. And whichever medium kind of calls to me, be it chalk pastels or paint or just sketching in like my little like rough sketchbook where I don't really that's kind of where I start ideas.
Yeah,
I want to put into painting, but it's just really rough sketches and like thumbnails and stuff like that.
I love that you also, because I have one of those too. I have like my good sketchbook where I want like good stuff to go, and then I also have like the sketchbook where I'm like, okay, crap can go in here.
Yeah.
The crap one to do like warm-ups and stuff. That's also do you do warm-ups?
Yeah, do you warm-ups, Savannah?
I do the traditional like drawing a bunch of eyes.
Oh my god, yes. What is it about drawing eyes that's like so perfect for warm-ups?
I think it's because it's like one of the first things like they teach you how to draw in art class, and it's like it like for me at least it was something like I always doodled like, you know, in junior high and high school or whatever. It was all over my like notebook paper and my notes and stuff. So I laugh because it's like I feel like it is the traditional like warm up for artists. This is just drawing eyes, like 5 eyes, and you're like, well, I'm loose now. I'm ready. Let's go.
Right.
I don't do that.
Oh,
I just do circles, squares, triangles, swirls, and then I do a bunch of lines, and I'll do that for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. As far as music, I'm actually kind of a weirdo. I don't actually listen to music whenever I do art, mainly because I've found like
You're a heathen?
no, not because I'm even. It's because my brain. I know how this is going to sound. I'm going to sound like such a dork, but like when I listen to music, like I listen to everything about it. Like I listen to the lyrics, I listen to the beat, I listen to, you know, like I mean, like I know how that sounds. Like that's how you hear music, but like for whatever reason, I can't multitask with music for some like for
you
the
just
like
soak it all in.
yeah, like whenever I'm doing art, I kind of tend to, if I'm listening to music, it'll almost kind of distract me a little bit, especially if it's got lyrics or whatever. What I usually listen to is I actually just have the TV going a lot of the time. I like to watch stuff while I'm doing art. Like that's like I like having it's almost like it's keeping me company while I do art.
What do you like to watch?
I like to watch stuff that I've seen 100 times. You know, like something that like I don't have to really be watching it to know what's going on, so I can just kind of go full in on what I'm working on and then just kind of occasionally be able to look up and see what's going on. So I watch a lot of The Office when I do art. I watch Parks and Rec.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and then I also watch Invader Zim. I do art a lot, but Invader Zim is actually really great to watch. Cartoons in general are really awesome to watch when you're doing art because you can kind of get inspired by their color palettes and stuff. Like I love Invader Zim because Invader Zim has such a specific color palette. Like it's a lot of purples and greens and like all those and like reds and like really like warm colors. Yeah. But I love that like their main color scheme is like purple.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I watch. And and like even though all I have is a shelf and not like an actual studio to work, I love my little shelf. I love that shelf. I love being able to just walk over and see all of my art supplies just staring at me in the face. Yeah. It's like it encourages me to do it more when you can see it all.
I have this like thought of like putting googly eyes on your art supplies so they actually stare at you.
How do you know I haven't already done that? Just saying.
Get off my brainwaves, Jade.
Get out of my brain.
I do like having my art supplies out because that makes me also feel guilty because I've like bought a bunch of things and it's like, oh, you're not going to use it? Like really? You wasted all that money? So that also helps inspire me.
Yeah, I can see your lovely little corner behind you.
Yeah, like for me, working here and then like having the art space like right behind me, it's been like really hard because it's like I feel like this is like work now and not like a creative space, and I tried so hard to make this a creative space. So I've been trying different things to kind of like get me into that mindset after work because it's usually when I'm doing stuff. So I'll like first of all I'll like log off from here and I'll go into the living room and like watch something, get away from the room for a little bit, and then I'll come back in and I'll like change up my lights because like I've got the color bulbs in here, like the hue color bulbs. So like I like having the colors, but I won't do it during the day. Like when I'm working at my regular job, I make sure to keep them like just plain white. And then like if I'm just sketching or doing something where it's not going to affect like the color or whatever, or if I'm working on like Photoshop, especially if I'm having to do something on the computer after work, I'll like change up the color scene in here. And then there's certain like music stations that I don't listen to at work on purpose that I only listen to like while I'm doing art to kind of like separate it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I try because like it's hard for me. Like me specifically is just one of my things. It's like it's hard for me to switch gears. I've always had a hard time with that. So I kind of have to like trick my brain into like associating things with different times of like, hey, it's not now it's time to work. Hey, now it's time to like do art. Like, so that's how even though I have this creative space, it's kind of like it's not really helping me right now just having it because of the fact that I also work my day job in this room. So I'm having to like come up with different tricks to trick myself into being creative.
I did a lot of that with writing because with working a full-time job and helping out with the family here, it was difficult for a while to get my routine and figure out how to write, finish the book. And so I would just set aside a time. If the twins were preoccupied with something, I tried to set myself into that mindset and be like, okay, cool. For the next hour, whether I do it or not, this is like my hour to create. I really like what you said about keeping different types of music, like this is work music and this is creative music. I think I might start doing that, actually start building playlists, because I just put stuff on shuffle whenever I'm at work, and I'll listen to all of my music while I'm at work because I like it all. And then I try to do the same thing whenever I'm drawing or writing. And then if it's instrumental stuff for writing, I think that's why Norah Jones is working out good for me whenever I'm drawing, because I don't listen to her while I'm at work, and I don't listen to that kind of like chill vibe. I need something a little bit more upbeat.
Yeah, so you're kind of already doing it subconsciously, it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, and also we've got Alexas at home. And so if I'm drawing, if I bust out the sketchbook, Weston's already right by my side. Are you going to draw, Uncle Russell? Can I draw with you? Like, sure. So we'll go and we'll sit down at the table and do warm-ups. And usually we try to put on some music. And so I've just started putting on Norah Jones because it's also family friendly. Some of it. There's a few songs that she's got that it's like, woo, girl. Ooh, this is a very poetic way to say that, you're thirsty.
That's funny. I haven't listened to enough of her, but I know of her.
She's also got this really awesome song called Miriam, and it's about her killing somebody.
Oh.
It's like the opening song, like some of the opening lyrics is Miriam, such a lovely. I'm going to be saying it when you cry. And then like as she's going on and stuff, she talks about how this girl, Miriam, cheated on her, like had sex with her husband or whatever. And towards the end of it and stuff, the last line is Miriam, such a lovely, I'm going to be saying it when you die. And the music video for it is super creepy. It's great. I love that song. I'm just like, yeah, death.
Yeah. You know what I will say though? There have been times when I have listened to music when I was doing art, but I'm kind of like Russell in that whenever I listen to music when I'm doing art, I don't like for it to have lyrics. It's got to be like strictly instrumental, like kind of stuff. And like one of my favorite, I remember there was when I first discovered this artist called Makeup and Vanity Set. They're this electronic artist. He does a lot of like film scores for like indie movies and stuff like that.
Nice.
And so I'll listen to his film scores and stuff whenever I'm doing art. And they're like these really like synthy, like almost like John Carpenter almost style. Ooh. Yeah. Like it's really, really cool. So if I do listen to music, which is very rare when I'm doing art, it's usually something instrumental like that where there isn't a lot of, because otherwise I'm just going to get hung up on the lyrics. And then before I know it, I've been sitting there like singing along to the whole song. And then I'm just like, fuck, I need to concentrate. Like,
see, I think I've got that older sister like superpower of I can like drown anything out. And so like it just becomes like background noise to me. Even if it's a song that I like and I like the lyrics, or even I can kind of just like drown it out, and like it just becomes kind of almost like white noise, but like pleasant white noise. Because I can still hear it, and if there's a song comes on that I hate, like I'll stop what I'm doing and like change it. But like, it's also like for me, I guess, because for me, like music affects my mood a lot. So like, I'll definitely listen to the vibe that I want to put into what I'm doing.
You know what though, Savannah? I remember there was this one time I came over to your house for us to do an art party.
Yeah,
And didn't we listen to like 90s jams or something?
probably.
I think that was, or it was either 80s or 90s. I can't remember which it was, but we were like jamming out to like Macarena or something. Like,
Yeah, it sounds right.
yeah, it was awesome.
So
That's cool. Sometimes I watch nature documentaries.
Ooh, that's good too.
Yeah,
See-
like Planet or anything that is voiced over by David Attenborough.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Planet Earth 2, except for the part in Planet Earth 2 where the iguana is trying to escape the snakes. I will always just like, no matter what I'm doing, I'll set it down and watch that. Just be like, yeah, go, run.
See, no, that would distract me. I wouldn't be able to concentrate. I'd stop what I was doing and just watch it.
The nature documentary?
Yeah, I'd be like, "Ooh, what's this?" Like that's distracting me. I can't watch in the background. What I have been watching lately in the background, I should say, just listening to, because I haven't even been really watching it. I just kind of have it up behind whatever window I'm working on. But I've been listening to Inuyasha,
Yeah.
like all the way through, and all it is like Kagome, Inuyasha, Kagome. Like that's the whole. And I'm just like, that's fine. This is good
Sit,
background.
boy.
You're right. With the
Believe it or
occasional-
not, I actually used to kind of watch at Inuyasha when they were showing it on like Cartoon Network, like back in the day. For like, I think it was like Toonami or something,
Yeah.
and they would show like they'd show Inuyasha, and then they'd show I can't remember like all the other ones, but I do
Ghost in the
remember.
Shell, Fooly Cooly,
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yes, Cowboy Bebop. That was one.
Dragon
of them.
Balls.
Didn't
Dragon
they
Ball
all-
Z.
Didn't they also do Samurai Champloo, or was that
Yes.
okay? Yeah.
Like, yeah, because at first Toonami was the after school program on Cartoon Network that would show like the older action cartoons like Thundercats.
Oh
and
yeah,
Sailor
yeah.
Moon, DBZ, and something else. Because
Oh, I think Dragon Ball Z was one of them too. I think.
Yeah, because I would bike home. I remember like in 6th grade and finally coming across Dragon Ball Z and being like, this is amazing, this is great. And biking home as hard and as fast as I could so I could catch the beginning of the episode because I know I wasn't going to watch Sailor Moon. Like that wasn't happening because that came on at 3 and I got out of school at 3:45. During the summer, Sailor Moon was my jam at 3 o'clock. Everything else stops. I'm watching Sailor Moon. Nope. Also, it's time to clean the house. Nope. I'm watching
The funny
girls in
thing
short
is,
skirts
like,
with superpowers.
I'm actually really late to the game when it comes to Sailor Moon. Like, I've really only been a Sailor Moon fan for like, I think like 3 or 4 years. Like, I remember watching it on TV and like, I wouldn't turn it off. But there was just something about like going back and watching it as like an adult or whatever. I was just like, this is awesome. I mean, it's not like it doesn't have like a lot of emotional depth or anything. I mean, at least the 90s series, you know what I mean? Like now Sailor Moon Crystal, that shit.
Yeah, because Sailor Moon Crystal's
It's
closer
10.
to the manga, which I read in high school. And after reading that, I was like, oh my gosh, this got deep.
You know what? This just makes me want to watch Sailor Moon while I do art. I feel like that's going to be a good choice.
I love magical girls.
You know what? The background in the 90s Sailor Moon, the backgrounds in that series were always so like pretty to look at. Have you ever like
Yes.
gone back and like watched some of those like cityscape scenes where they're like showing Tokyo and stuff like that? I mean, it's gorgeous. It is so pretty. I love it.
Yes, we're watching the old right now with the twins. Brooklyn really likes it. Weston says he doesn't like it because it's a bunch of girls, but if Sailor Moon's on, he stops and he's just zones out. He'll be playing with Legos or something. I usually put it on if I'm taking care of them in the morning. I need to get them out of the house at a certain time. I'll put on Sailor Moon so that way I can do Brooklyn's hair because she'll cry out. She'll cry out if like we're brushing her hair too fast. She's like, "Ow, the tangles! Stop it! It hurts!" It's like, okay, either we brush your hair and do something so it stays out of your face, or you go like this. And she's, no, I don't want it in my face. Okay, toughen up, sister.
We've gotten wildly off topic again.
Yeah, well, like I think it's still good to kind of talk about these things because it's stuff that we still watch or listen to in the background while we're making art, and I think it's also stuff that has influenced some of our art. I know it's influenced some of mine.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I definitely have I don't have an anime style like at all. I would never classify myself as anime style, but that like there's like a lot of concepts of like anime and like comic books and stuff like that that I do a lot of in my art. Like I do a lot of really thick black outlines. I do a lot of really vibrant colors. Like I do a lot of blues and I do a lot of purples and I do a lot of greens and yeah, so the inspiration is totally there. Like you could even, I mean, even just being inspired by something you watched or whatever can just completely change what you're working on, like in the middle of working on it.
Absolutely. I'm going through master classes right now while I play video games, so that way I have something to listen to or actually just get through them because I've paid for the service. I'm just like, why not use it? And I'm going through the Margaret Atwood one. And she talks about doing research for your writing, or you could utilize it for anything else, anything creative that you're doing. If you're diving into something and you're researching or whatever, that's going to come up in your creation, whatever you're doing, especially if you're writing. I think that's a great point that you made, Jade. Like these different things that you like, you don't necessarily do that style or do that, but it's gonna have an influence in you. I have a question for y'all. Do you think working out before helps any whenever you sit down to create? Like
just like exercising or whatever?
Like it could be anything from like a walk to a 30-minute high interval training.
I'm too lazy for all that. I just want to sit down and create, man. Like I can't even motivate myself to exercise on like a normal basis, much less for art. And that's what I went to school for.
I've never tried it, but I mean, that might be something I try. Like clock out here, go into the living room, throw on a YouTube exercise video, do that for 20 minutes, and then come back in here. I mean, it couldn't hurt,
No.
you know. That might be something cool to try. Because I'm still looking for ways to like get motivated. Because like I'm not gonna lie, like after working in here all day, I like don't want to come back into this room.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to go in the living room and watch YouTube, which is terrible.
And
I'm also like I paid for Stars so I could watch the last 2 seasons of Outlander, the most recent one. So I've been doing that too. So that's eating up my time. On a side note, I heard a rumor that guy, the guy from Outlander, I don't know if you like know what he looks like or whatever, but
yes.
Okay, so there's like a rumor that he might be cast as Wolverine, like the new Wolverine, and like I'm okay with it.
There's also rumors that the all-American superhero dude from The Boys might be the next Wolverine too.
Yes, and I also heard a rumor that what's his toes, Henry Cavill, the guy from The Witcher, he's in the running too.
He's also Superman.
Yeah.
But he's also really tall, and Wolverine's supposed to be short. I know that's like splitting hairs, but Wolverine's like 5'4", 5'5". Like
No.
Wolverine's shorter than me.
Is that Henry guy tall though, or did they just shoot him to look tall as Superman? Because they do that.
He's tall.
Is he
like,
tall?
He's like 6'2" or 6'3", something like that. I looked them all up because Bryce had brought it up that he's supposed to be short, and I was like, yeah, he is, but Hugh Jackman wasn't short either, and he did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And so like they're all about the same height. They're like 6'1" to 6'3", all of them, and I'm just like, whatever. I was like, plus I'm just like, they don't really let short guys be in Hollywood. And Bryce is like, what about Danny DeVito? And I'm like, well, they're not going to pick him to do like.
Danny DeVito as Wolverine would be amazing.
But he's
That
the only.
would be amazing.
He's the only one I can think of that is like even like and what's his toes?
Yeah, toes.
Yeah, Mel Gibson. The Mel Gibson who's like super short.
He's also like old now.
I know. I'm just saying, like in general, in general, they don't really cast a lot of shorter guys. And when I was like going through my brain trying to think of shorter guys, those were like the two that I could think of guys that are like in movies. So that was my point.
Wait, my brain stopped. Sorry.
Okay.
What's that one guy that played the imp in Game of Thrones?
Oh,
He's short.
Peter Dinklage,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. He might be too short. Worried. I mean, he's like a in the
He's a small
comic book,
person.
he's like short for a guy, but he's just like, and he's also like big and stocky. So I think they go for the muscles. I don't know. We'll see. Also, I saw the Robert Pattinson Batman trailer.
I'm vengeance.
I didn't see the trailer yet. I'm scared.
It actually looks really good.
Okay. I'll look at the trailer.
See, because like even when they first like said that they cast him, I was like pro him because I was like, you can't judge him by Twilight Forever.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
I mean, it is true. And plus, I mean, it's just like he was Cedric Diggory before he was Edward Cullen. So,
And he did a really good job at that for the 5 minutes that he was in it before he like died or whatever.
spoilers.
Oh,
Cedric
please.
dies. Yay, Hufflepuff. I'm Hufflepuff.
Ravenclaw.
I'm Ravenclaw too.
I
Yeah.
thought you were Slytherin.
Me?
Yeah.
Me? No.
Oh.
I think my roommate got Slytherin, and I was just like, that explains so much.
Bryce is Hufflepuff.
No, he's not. He
What is
wanted.
Bryce?
He
Oh, yeah,
wanted.
that's right. He got Gryffindor.
Right. He was so mad. He was
That's right.
so mad. He wanted to be Hufflepuff so bad. And then he was like, I got Gryffindor. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And he's like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, you do everything by the book. You have like, you're so OCD. You have like all these rules and like, you're like lawful good. And he's like, damn it. He's like, you're right. I'm just like, yeah, I know. Please. So
Or
I
is
ran
it Jessica that's Slytherin?
No, she's Gryffindor.
Oh, yeah.
That's so funny because I was just watching Harry Potter yesterday while we were like decorating for Halloween. It's not
Mhm.
exactly a Halloween movie, I guess, but I
mean, they have Halloween scenes in some of the movies.
yeah, we started from the first one, and I remember we were like, I went into our library of movies because I think we have them all, and I was just like, how many are there? Like, I forgot there was like 8 of them. I was like, holy shit, because I was like, they keep going. But it's really freaky, even from like the first movie to the second movie, to see how much they grow up. I'm like, holy shit, these kids, they're growing up right before our eyes.
Yeah, and then the jump from 2 to 3, like that was like another huge leap.
Mm.
I haven't gotten there yet, but I see little Neville and I'm like,
Teenagers.
look at him, he's so cute. And then I'm just like, can we talk about how hot he is now? And Bryce is like, they had to make him ugly for some of the movies. They had to like ugly him up because he was getting too hot. I'm just like, what a story to tell your kids.
Right? I was too beautiful.
Oh, curse this beauty I have been blessed with.
So they gave me some teeth.
Or they took one out.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that got dark really fast.
Just made me think of a book that I was reading, but I got kind of like about it because it's YA, so of course there's like some stupid cheesy romance in there. Like the romance in this book just got to a point to where I was just like, you are facing these fiery angelic sons of bitches, and you just want to stay in the beefy arms of this dude. But like in it and stuff, there's these people that do dealings with teeth. And one of the things is like you can get a bigger wish if you pull out your teeth yourself. And it's like this fey realm and stuff, and they're doing wishes and exchanges for teeth. And depending on how you get the teeth or how good the teeth are or what you do with them, or if you pull them out yourself, whatever, you can get a better wish. Like there was like aspects of the book that were really, really cool. It was like, yeah, this is great. And then the romance story got in there and I was like, okay, cool.
What is this, like hardcore tooth fairy? Like, what is going on?
Yeah. Like hardcore tooth fairy war with fiery angels. Anyway, back on topic. What were we talking about? Music and approaching stuff.
Creative spaces and how you like make yourself creative, how you force yourself to be creative.
Yes. Speaking of pulling teeth, sometimes it is.
Oh, you brought it back. I like that.
Oh, Andy's back.
It's so
And
true,
we're
though.
back.
Dude, you kind of do have to force yourself, though.
Yeah.
I hate it. It'd be easier if we just stopped, you know? Like, we just stopped making art.
I can't.
No. 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 I've done that in parts of my life where art just stops. And I hate it.
Yeah.
I hated those moments where it was like, I want to create, but I just don't. Or I don't have the space, I don't have the time, especially whenever I was waiting tables and I was pulling doubles like mad crazy. And anytime I had a day off or a moment off, I was just sleeping or laying down on the couch and wasn't doing anything, even though there was this desire within me to create, to do something. And I had these ideas, and all I was doing was just writing down the ideas with no time to execute them. Oh, so glad our tables anymore. God.
That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, nothing like spending an entire week at a restaurant pulling doubles and having one day off just to do nothing and lay in your bed, lay on the couch, or lay on the floor, or whatever, and just like lay there and be like, I don't want to move. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to draw. I don't want to do anything. Ugh.
Sorry, Ruckus got trapped in here. I had to let him out because he was starting to cry.
Oh, I love Ruckus.
Yeah, he's gone now. He's
Hi,
like, you're
Ruckus.
boring. What are you doing? Staring at the computer. Ugh, I'm out of here.
Pet me. Pet me.
I don't even know why
you
he
loving me.
I don't know why he came in here. He doesn't even like me. He just came in here to be with me, and then he was like, you're boring. I'm leaving.
He likes you.
I guess he does. Lately,
Well,
I've been
Harley
making-
loves you.
Harley loves me. That's unconditional.
God, it is so unconditional.
She follows me around. I'm like, what are you doing? Lately, I've been putting a bow tie on Ruckus, and it's the cutest thing ever. He looks so dapper. And I don't know if you saw it, but I put them on my Etsy site as like my Etsy shop members, and they all have like little photos, or I put like a blanket up as a backdrop, and I put a bandana on Harley, and I put like a bow tie on Ruckus, and I don't think I put anything on Gaz because I can't remember. I don't think she would let me. Did I? I can't remember. He's on there with a bow tie. He's so cute. Yeah, I am glad that I don't have like one of those jobs anymore where like it's so tiring it keeps me from doing anything. Like when I was working overnights, I don't think I did anything for those 2 years besides just like work and sleep and try to go to school.
Ugh, that was me whenever I was working graveyard at Denny's. Because
You would-
on my days off, what else was I going to do? Mom's asleep. At the time, yeah, because I was living with my mom. Mom's asleep. Like, what else am I going to do? So I just would go and hang out at Denny's till
No.
6 o'clock in the morning on my days off.
Russell, no.
Oh, yes. Yes. We'll just sit there in the smoking section and chain smoke cigarettes and maybe draw or talk to anybody else who was there because, of course, all of the usuals are still there. So I'd probably find a table of the usuals that would stay there for 5 hours, drink way too much coffee, smoke way too many cigarettes, not eat. Watch the crazies that came in. Oh, man. I've got stories of the crazies that came into Denny's at Graveyard. Oh my God. One dude tried to convince me he invented the submarine.
Right on.
I was like, okay. And he started talking about some other stuff, and I was like, that's so interesting. And I went to the back and I was like, what is his problem? One of the other servers was like, oh my God, let me tell you about this other story he told me. And we all started sharing stories that we heard from this one dude. And we're like, what the hell? What? Yeah.
I guess that's it. I guess we don't really have anything else to talk about.
I don't know. I'm kind of tired. I didn't take my medication today, so I'm zoning out hard. Also, my brother's he's got a 3D printer, and he's printing a drill bit for like an oil drill bit because also, thank you, David, for allowing us to use your setup. He works in oil and gas, and so he makes these drill bits on his 3D printer. And one's going right now, and every now and then I just kind of sit here and y'all be talking, and I'll just watch it. Look at it go. Look at it.
So
It's
true.
a little bit. Unless there's anything else we want to talk about approaching the page, or that's what I call it, approaching the page, because that's what a lot of writers that I listen to say. It's like when you approach the page, blah 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 blah. Or music, background noise.
No. But you know what we can do is we can close out with like what we're working on right now.
Oh yeah, talk about our stuff.
So like for me, suddenly I'm like interested in spray paint. So I've been researching that because I bought these 2 big canvases a long time ago, and they've just been sitting here, and I kind of have an idea of what I want to do with them, but one of the reasons I haven't done anything with them is because they're so big, and acrylic paint is so expensive, and I'm just like, I really don't want to spend $30 of acrylic paint, just painting the background. But I've been watching some YouTube artists right now that are actually like kind of like mural / graffiti artists, but they also do like canvas paintings, and some of them do like they at least start their big canvas paintings with spray paint, or that sometimes they'll do like most of them with spray paint. And I'm just like, that's super interesting. I never even thought about that before. So I've started like researching that, and it's actually more complicated than I thought.
Ooh.
Because you can buy like artist grade spray paint cans, and then you can actually buy like caps, like different spray paint caps that'll actually give you like different effects and stuff. So I'm still looking into it. I haven't bought anything yet, but like the artist acrylic spray paint is like, oh man, there are so many colors. Like there's one line that has like 200 different colors in it. And I'm just like, oh, I'm in trouble, because like it's that whole Copic marker thing that we talked about, where it's just like, I'm going to end up buying like 50 shades of green. So I got to really think about what I really want to do with these canvases and plan everything out, including the color scheme, so that when I go to buy the spray paints and stuff that I want, I'm not going to end up buying like 50 different things that I don't even end up using. So
if you don't use them, give them to me.
I'll send you the website that I was looking at, because it's really cool. And they have a blog. I think I actually sent you a link to it already. They have a blog with like graffiti news. They feature different artists and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it's really cool. But like most of them are like artist features, but every once in a while they'll go be like, hey, what's the difference between this cap and that cap? Or like they'll answer like basic questions that like I'm just like, I don't know. So like it's kind of cool, because they do focus on like getting people into it, which is what I need. I'm just like, tell me your secrets. Like I need to know what I'm doing, and I don't know. So
So I haven't been working on anything this week. I've actually been kind of geeking out. I've been kind of diving into like art, like the history of certain pigment colors.
Ooh.
And there are actually pigments that used to exist during the time of like the Impressionists, and like there are these pigments that no longer exist. So there's this this color that I'm obsessed with right now. It's called Paris green.
Ooh.
And it's really, really pretty. It's almost like the perfect seafoam color. And it was really, really popular based in like, I believe Monet used it. Van Gogh, he used it for sure. It was poisonous because
I was thinking that was like,
it had like arsenic in it.
ooh.
And then there was this other pigment that I'm like obsessed with called Mummy Brown. And Mummy Brown was made with mummies.
I knew that.
I'm not even playing. So they would take like the mummified remains of like cats and dogs and like sometimes people too.
Oh my God.
They would crush it up into a fine powder, and then they would get the color out of it.
Oh.
No. Do you want a haunted painting? Because that's how you get a haunted painting.
Yeah. And there's like all these other colors that like I've been looking into it, but I'm obsessed with Paris green, and I'm really excited because I actually found this acrylic paint tube on Amazon that's very, very close to Paris green, and I just ordered it today. And apparently it's like the fanciest paint I've ever bought in my life for myself. Like it was, I think it's like 150 milliliters. And it was like $25.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did you buy the arsenic on the side?
Oh my God. I hope there's arsenic in it. I am so excited. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing this week. So I haven't been working on anything this week, but I've definitely been like still within the art world this week.
Absolutely.
I've just been geeking out to a little bit of art history. So yeah, that's what I've been doing this week. And I'll have to send you guys a picture of the paint when it comes in.
There is a YouTube video I think it's called the three deadliest colors,
Mm-hmm.
and it's orange, a green, and a white. And
Oh yeah, I read about the white one. Yep.
oh my god! And I
Yep.
think there's also the story about the glow girls
Yes.
using the radioactive substance and stuff and like powdering their face and going out and,
And
being
they would like paint their nails and
paint
like
their nails, rub it on their cheeks and their lips and stuff, use it as eyeshadow, and then go out in the night. And then within a couple years and stuff, they're so irradiated that they're like falling apart.
yeah, they've got like every kind of cancer.
Ugh, poor
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been doing this week.
That sounds really cool. That
Yeah.
sounds super. The Mummy Brown thing though blows my mind.
I know, it's so crazy, right?
I hate it.
Weird.
If you ever want to get grossed out, look up Indian yellow. That'll gross you out.
Okay.
It's pee. Spoiler. It's
Cool, good. Now I don't have to look it up.
pee.
I was about to say, and I was just like, what things could make it yellow? And I was just like, it could be that, but let's not go there. And then you're like, it's pee.
Straight up, it's pee.
Pee. It's pee.
Yep.
I have been trying to get through the slog of the book because it's that part of the book where it's just like nothing happens here. All of the characters are super depressed and they don't like each other and nobody's talking to each other and nothing's moving the plot forward, though there are like 4 or 5 conversations where stuff happens that I'm just like, ugh. I'm really struggling with getting through this part of the book. But I have been drawing more. I drew another character. I said to you that the 2 characters that I've drawn so far from the book, and I've just been like drawing up outfits and different like settings and stuff to kind of keep my interest in the book during the time where I'm going through the book that is very not interesting. Other than that, just trying to continue to work on gesture drawing and dynamic poses of just people and growing there. With the book, I bought a notebook so that way I can start writing down, have one spot where all of these ideas for the next draft are, so that way I don't have to continue to flip through the book where I wrote this stuff down and be like, oh, okay, here we need to do this, blah, 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 blah. I can have just my references already in the notebook all together in one spot. That's kind of what I'm working on. Also doing a lot of work at work, getting the studio back to a point where I can work in there.
Do you guys have an AC yet?
We do have the AC in. Right now we're just reorganizing everything, putting it back in its place, or trying to find a better system because we've got this big orange storage unit thing, shipping container in the backyard. So we had to clear a bunch of that stuff out, put in shelving, because this past Monday, we finally got everything set up for the AC. We got it insulated. The AC's working. It's fantastic in the studio right now. And then, we get done with that. It's like, cool, back to work. Yeah, I get to work in the AC. And then the bosses are telling me, all right, we're going out into into the storage unit, and we're going to be working out there all week. I'm like, no.
That sucks.
I was
Also,
telling-
it sounds like there's spiders in there. I don't know. In my head, I'm just like, there's spiders.
There's spiders, there's snakes, there's foxes, there's deer.
Ugh.
There's a lot of lizards.
I'm okay with that.
There's a bunch of granddaddy longlegs. There's rock squirrels that live under the studio. Like, we're surrounded by nature. Like, we've got woods all around us. There's been tons of times that I've gone out into the back because I'm a dude and I like pee out in the woods. I'm like, yay. It's a lot faster and easier sometimes to go out there and I scare a pack of deer. I'm like, hey. Either that or they scare me where I'm not even paying attention. I'll be like halfway through and like look up and the deer run off and I'm like, ah. Yeah. But yeah, so hopefully this next week we can be back in the studio because we finally filled up the storage unit with most of the tile and molds. I haven't done as much as I want to because the heat this week has just been crazy. It's been really
There's been
bad. Multiple times that I think there's been like 2 times in the past 2 weeks where boss calls me up at lunch saying, okay, the heat index is 110 plus, stay home.
That's fair. That's cool that they're like that.
Yeah, because like the last time we recorded, I got off with y'all and I called up my boss like, hey, I'm coming in. This needs to be done. This needs to be done. And he's like, it's hot and I'm tired. Don't come in. Okay. I guess I won't do those things that you told me to do. And it's like, it's fine.
All right,
Cool.
y'all. I guess we're done. Talk to you later.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah,
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Show us your stuff. I want to see other people's stuff. If you're listening to this podcast and you created something, show it to us.
Yeah, we want to see it.
Yes, show me your art.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for listening to the Fanbrush Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. You can find us on Instagram at fanbrush.podcast. Until next time, keep creating. Bye.